Never let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do.
Hello everyone, my name is Mdaka Peterson and welcome back to the returning subscribers. And if you are new, welcome to Walk the Talk. And I mean, there could be a little bit of a confusion right now thinking in the first video, the name was That Zaga Talk. But let's be honest guys, that was a bit limiting. And I'm glad that I received good feedback from everyone thinking, Peterson, why name it That Zaga Talk if you are going to be breaking down some aspects of your life including career, money and business. So more than anything guys, I realized that we had to come up with a name change. I had a few suggestions and we had to land on Walk the Talk. Why Walk the Talk? Everything that we're going to be talking about guys, we will be doing it. So it has to be practical. We are putting our money where the mouth is. So that's the reason why we're naming it Walk the Talk. And in this particular video guys, we'll be talking about the cost of having to build a house. And let's be honest, constructing a house guys or building project is more than just bricks, cement and the works. This is where I will be spending time with my family. This is where we'll be creating memories. This is where we'll be having a lot of memories, and there's so many other things that will be created in that very same house guys. There's a lot of emotions, there is a lot of financial challenges of course that are going to be spoken about in this particular clip guys. I want you to be very engaged. I want you to stay tuned, and if you are planning on building a house for yourself or for your parents, I would like for you to take this as with a pinch of salt. Of course, please do not take this video as financial advice. If you need financial advice, please do consult somebody who is regulated, somebody who is qualified. This is merely my experience and I would love for you to just take it as that. Just like anything else guys, it starts off as an idea, and just like any other child, or let me say most of us, that you want to make your parents proud, and growing up in a house that was not I don't want to say beautiful or luxurious or anything, or even if you did, but just wanting to do something as a thank you to your parents. And I think more than anything, I wanted to do that for my grandmother when she was still alive. My hopes and dreams was to finish school as quickly as I can, build a house for my grandmother that she would very much appreciate and love, and say this was done by my son. And those of you guys that know me, and I've always told everybody the story, my grandmother used to say, Opa, once again, meaning I've dug up some money under this party or the current house that the family house.
Latoya's lies! Latoya's lies! Yes!
I want you, the day that I die, I want you to break this house and dig out that money. But I think she was just literally saying, my son, I want you to build me a new house. I've realized that building a house is more than just the brick and mortar. It is a sense of achievement. For me, it is a sense of joy and pride for my mom to say, I have raised a child and this is what he has done for me. And to my mom watching this video, I love you so much, and more than anything, that this started off as an idea, us talking about the type of house that you want, what is it that you want to do, things that you want to try out. And it started off with us just sharing videos on WhatsApp. Okay, this is what we like, this is the type of house that we like. We used to disagree a bit on the type of roof, the design of it. There's things that I like, there's things that my mom likes. With the process of building a house, I had to realize that there were a lot of compromises that we made here and there with the design, how it looks, and things that she likes, things that I don't like. But we had to agree to disagree on certain things, of course. This is part one of the video, by the way. I will be inserting a number of pictures, screenshots, videos, and all of that. So here goes nothing. My mom has a stand in a new development. It's an informal settlement in our area. She has a shack, beautifully put together, very clean, neat. The yard is big, but there's only one challenge. Not even one. I think there are a number of challenges, of course. Number one, there's no electricity in that area as yet. There's no water in that area as yet. The roads are not, I mean, it is not it's not proper, and I didn't want my mom to have to struggle about having to buy solar, gas, and all of those things. So she came across a post on Facebook. There was this stand that is being sold. There's electricity, there's water, there is a shack that is there already. So my mom told me to say, there is a stand that I saw. This is the asking price. And by the way, I had already had a budget when I said, Mama, I want us to start building. There was a budget that was set already that was going to start and finish the whole project. But now we had to deviate. All the plans had to change a bit. I had to start by, buying a stand because I had already laid my reasons for not wanting to build the house in that particular area that I've just mentioned. So part of that amount or a portion of the whole budget had to now be divided into two. I had to take portion of the amount to buy the stand. The stand, I think the asking price was about 90 something thousand rands if I'm not mistaken, from what I've heard from my mom and the sales agent, of course. But we had to settle for, I think, 64,000 rands after, negotiations. And thanks to my mom, she is a good negotiator, guys. When buying a stand or buying just about anything, compare prices, negotiate, and try and see if you can, push it to a price where you can be very much comfortable with. So that's what my mom did. From 85, I think 90, 85, we had to settle on 64,000 rands. That was the asking price for the stand. So that's what we did. We bought the stand, but there's so many important aspects, guys. If you're going to buy a stand, make sure that documentation is up to date. We're talking about if the stand of the individual that is being sold to you guys has passed on or is deceased, make sure that you have all the documents. Make sure that you have the title deed with you. Make sure that you change ownership to your name. Make sure that all the paperwork is up to date, guys. We had to make sure that all those documents are ready. And thanks to the lady who was selling us the stand, she was kind enough to bring all the documents. We had to, duplicate and make copies of all the documents and to sign. And the most important part, guys, is the agreement. Having a verbal conversation and an agreement, yes, it could be very informal because it's an area, you guys know each other, but it is always good to have something in black and white. That's the first thing. Have something in pen and paper. I will also insert a picture of the agreement, of course. And you can decide what is it that you want to include. There should be witnesses on that particular agreement. There should be dates. There should be amounts. There should be clauses. There should be terms and conditions as well. Because it is very important that you have your paperwork proper, because so many things, guys, could be misconstrued. There could be misunderstandings. There could be changes on how is it that you feel about the area. There should be so many things that you also include. Make sure that you have somebody else. If you don't know how to construct one, you can use ChatGPT. You can go on the internet and look up for something that is similar, and also tailor make it to what is it that you are going to prefer. So that's the first part. Buying a stand, get the documentation up to date. Have your witnesses ready, and make sure that whatever it is that you are selling as a seller, you are happy with the price. And as a buyer, make sure that whatever it is that you are buying, you are happy with whatever it is that you are buying. So when we bought the stand, there was, like I said, a couple of bricks. There was a shack, of course. So we're happy with everything. Transferring the amount. And also when you're making a big transaction, guys, or money that you've never transferred, your bank obviously is going to be a bit cautious to say, okay, this amount of money, it could be fraudsters, it could be whatever the case may be. So with my bank, they had to make sure that they freeze the amount. I had to call for the funds to be released just to make sure that I am the one making that transaction. So your bank will always protect you. Big ups to FNB. So that's the first thing that happened. We bought the stand, we were happy, everything was fine, signed. Then we went to view, everything was okay, everything went well. The first thing that we needed to do, guys, is to fence around the yard, because there was an old fence. It was a bit saggy, it was low, there were a lot of goats, because there were a lot of trees also, from mango to peach and all these other things. Thank you very much to the seller of the yard. She was kind enough to say, I'm not taking these trees with me. I know it's just a joke, but I'm just saying, we had to also enjoy the fruits of somebody else's labor. But yeah, we had to fence around the yard. So the fence costed about 2,500 rands for the material. It was 2 gates, it was the fence, the poles, and all of the cement also, because those poles have to be cemented and be ready and be firm and steady, of course. So we had to buy 2 bags, I think, or 3 bags of cement, the fence, of course, the gate, the chain, and the locks as well. So everything costed about 2,500 rands. And I think for labor, because it was my uncle doing it and his friend, it costed about, I think, 500 rands. My mom can confirm the amount. I'll definitely insert it on the video. So all in all, I think the fence costed about 3,500 rands, just to make sure that we protect what's ours as well. So the fence costed 2,500 rands. Labor, it was 500 rand. Then we realized that we don't have a wheelbarrow, so we had to buy the wheelbarrow also. We had to buy a hammer. We had to buy a couple of tools that we did not have also. And one of the first things that we did is to also build a sewage hole. That costed around, so it was the lentils, cement, bricks. So for construction, I think for labor, it was 1,000 rands, 2 bags of cement, and the lentils. I think all in all, everything costed about 1.8. So just building that particular sewage system. That is the other thing that we had to do as well. Buying the wheelbarrow, the tools, and everything else, the amount is also inserted over there. And now the big challenge is that we had to also move the shack to just, I think, towards closer to the fence, because looking at the plan of the house, looking at the square meters and all of that, it was not going to be enough. So that wasn't really so much of a cost. I think it was done for free. They had to just move the shack a bit further back. So that was for free. It didn't really cost that much. So one of the first things that we needed to do, like just like when you are planning something, when you're constructing something new, there has to be a plan in motion, because failure to plan is a plan to fail. So we didn't fail. So my mom, I think, finessed the guy who will be building for us to draw up a plan for us, and I think that did not really cost anything. It was done for us for free. So that's the first thing, having a house plan. But guys, I know that these things cost, and they range from 1,000 to 2,000. It depends on the service provider, of course, but it can be very expensive. We were just fortunate enough that it did not cost us anything or close to anything. So that's the first thing, having a house plan. So the next thing, once you have the plan had to be drawn on the floor using, I think they use cement, just to also draw out the plan. They had to start now digging the foundation. Now let's talk about the labor cost. So the labor cost, excuse me, I will need to reach out to my phone just to also check the amount so that I can be sure, because more than anything, I would hate to misinform you guys. So just for them to build the foundation, it was 4,500 rands just to build the foundation, including digging, just the foundation, making sure that they do the slab and all of that. Just their labor, it was 4,500 rands. So we're already 64,000 rands down. It is 2,000 rands, 2,500 rands for the fence. It is 185 for the hammer. It is 1,230 for the wheelbarrow. It is now 4,500 rands for their labor. Now remember, now for you to have a foundation, you need bricks, you need cement. Now let's dig into those costs now. So the first one, that much. So the whole material that we bought at first, it was 20,129 rands and 20 cents. That includes bricks, cement, brick force, lentils, door frames, and the delivery truck as well. So we had to pay for the cost of delivering the material. So the material was 20,129 rands and 20 cents. Then also there is another cost of lentils, door frames, big force, cement. Also that costed 13,829 rands for the other material, of course. So the first coat they thought is going to finish up, but there were other things that they also realized that they're going to need. So when your budget is 20,000 rands, guys, when they say it's going to be 20,000 rands, they might not necessarily cost 20,000 rands. It might be 29,000 rands, it might be 40, it might be double. And there's the stressful part. That what comes with the financial challenges of having to build a house, guys. So be ready for that. It comes with a lot of stress. So now, with everything else that they quoted us on, we had to just be sure, buy the entire material. Then the material was delivered. I was happy with everything, and they called me to say, no, we'll be delivering the building material at this particular date on this hour. I got there, had to wait for a further hour, because the other thing is that with these warehouses or where they sell building material, usually what they do is that if they're going to deliver in your area, they should be delivering in closer to your area as well. They must not start with you. There could be somebody else who bought door frames that they would be delivering for. So those are the other things that I was not even aware of, or had to realize and had to learn more about as well. So we also had to buy sand, because the sand is going to be used to make the entire foundation. So the initial plan was to use the sand that is behind our yard, because there is a lot, but we needed to hire a TLB. I don't know what that thing is called, but those of you guys that know it, it does like this. We call it gazlagandla, guys. I don't know what in your language they call it, but we had to call and call. No one was available. Not that no one was willing to help, but we kept on getting stories after stories. Then we ended up having to settle to buy the actual sand, which costed us a whooping 5,300. The cost would be even less if we had the TLB and take the sand behind our yard, but because now we're running out of time, we realized that we had to start. So we had to pay 5,300 rands, which it was delivered. I think it was a double div. There were 2 loads as well. And if you look at the stat, it's not that much comparing it to the amount of money that you're going to pay. So you have to be ready for such things as well. And once again, try and negotiate. Thanks to my mom, everything she negotiates for, guys. You give her a price for 1,000 rands, she'll end up paying 8 or 850, even if it's 950 or 999, even if it's just 1 cent difference, it always makes a difference with my mom. So that's the cost of buying the sand. And now the other thing that we needed to also do is to buy the clay bricks, the red ones. So we had to buy, I think, 4 pellets that costed us 6,300 rands. They were delivered, everything was fine. They came with this big truck that I've always seen on the roads, but in this time it was coming to my mom's yard, where those bricks are going to create those walls, and not just a house, guys, but a home that is going to house me and my siblings and my mom and my family, where so many beautiful memories are going to be created. And more than anything, guys, that journey is stressful, let's be honest, but because I know that the end goal is going to be beautiful, and the end goal is something that is going to make everybody happy, you just have to be understanding. You have to bear with the stress. You have to be understanding. You have to try and see things from everybody's perspective, of course. Please don't mind me, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be just reaching out to my phone just to also make sure that I do not leave anything behind. So we had to also clean the yard, which costed us, I think, I had to ask these other uncles in my area to say, I have to clean out the yard because I'm not that handy. It was a big yard and there was a lot of dirt. So they had to charge me 200. So they had to also remove some trees that were blocking the part that we needed to use for the construction of the house as well. So they charged me 200 rands to remove the trees and also clean parts of the yard. They did removing the trees was fine. It was perfect. But cleaning the yard, they did a mess up. Those who knows Bonnie from my area, he's my uncle, but hey, you did me dirty. But it's okay. We live and we learn and we move forward. But there is another uncle of mine who cleaned the whole yard and he did a stunning job for 300 rands. Usually these guys, you can pay them 100 rand, but I just looking at the amount of work and it was scorching hot, and I thought, you know what, it's approaching the festive seasons, guys. He probably has things that he needs to do, bills to pay, or whatever it is that he needed to do. So I thought 300 rands would be enough. And he said he actually charged me 100 rands, but I thought, you know what, let me just be reasonable. 300 rands would be fine for him, so he did that for us. So I will add up everything from, you know, buying the actual stand, you know, cleaning the yard, buying the tools, the house plan, the quotation, the cost of labor for, you know, fencing the yard, you know, digging out a hole for the sewage system as well, the house plan, which was costing us close to nothing, in fact zero, and also including, you know, building the actual foundation, the building material as well. But thank you very much if you've made it this far to this particular part of the video, guys. Please bear with me. I will be dropping 3 parts to this particular video, and I will be showing you guys the progress of each and every part that I've also been mentioning. And if you are planning on building a house, guys, save money so that it can save you a whole lot of stress. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the builders, of course, and try and negotiate. The key word here is what? If there's anything that I would like for you to take away from this first part, is that you need to try and negotiate for just about everything. I know whatever price that is being said, guys, there's a lot of calculations. I'm not saying rip people off. No, I'm saying negotiate for just about anything, whatever the cost may be, guys, and try and compare prices, because there's a lot of, I don't want to name them, but you know, the blue one, the red and blue one, there's a yellow one also, but I'm just gonna name it. Build it, there's cash build. Compare prices. Please do not just go for the first thing that you see. If it costs 20,000 at cash build, it might be costing 17,000. But also look at the quality of material that you are going to use and make sure that it speaks to the quality. Because guys, building a house is not just doing something that so that you can repair it later. No, you are trying to build something that is going to last very long, something that is going to be strong, something that is not going to cause you a whole lot of stress. Stay away from cheap things, guys. Stay away from cheap things, because you are trying to build a house that is going to be there to take care of you so that you can be well taken care of. Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I will be dropping part 2 of this particular clip. I really appreciate it, and once again, welcome to Walk the Talk. Wanzwar.